Hello, another little idea for Halloween, just as a gift idea or a decorative one, that has a couple of little sort of twists in it to make it a little bit more interesting. I'm going to use these rather cute little hanging characters. They come in a set of three. There's the pumpkin, a ghost and a witch. I'll use the pumpkin on this occasion, and we're going to put it inside a Clearz balloon and make that the basis of the design. So this is the large size crystal Clearz. I've got the orange one here, and we need to remove the valve, which we do in the time-honoured fashion that we've used in many of the videos here. A little bit of air inside. Pinch the seams together, cut at an angle and squeeze to remove the valve. Now we need to inflate the balloon quite a long way to stretch it. I'm taking off that label so that the neck is easier to seal later. We're going to put this ghost in through the neck opening, so there's no need to cut and reseal the balloon. But we need to have the balloon stretched out quite a long way to start with, because at the moment obviously it's only that wide and this is considerably wider than the balloon. So inflate it. We'll just hang on to it for a few seconds to allow it time to relax a little bit. We're going to use the balloon stretching tool to open the neck, and I've also tied a piece of very fine monofilament around the base of the hanging loop here, because they come with a loop of string, but obviously that is too coarse to be able to seal it into the neck of the balloon. So I've tied a monofilament around there. I think that's probably ready now. So let the air out. And then I'm going to remove that hanging loop so that we just use the monofilament to suspend the balloon. So it will hang like that. Open up the neck of the balloon, put the tips of your stretching tool right down inside the balloon, all the way through the neck and into the body of the balloon, so that when you do open it out, you get the largest possible opening that you can. I'll have another go at that, excuse me. Right down inside, and then stretch it out fully so it's the largest opening you can create. And then we very carefully feed the hanging character in through the neck. The arms are wired, so we don't want to squash those up any more than we can get away with, so that we have the widest shape possible. So I'm going in with the end of one arm, feeding it through till we get to the neck, and then very carefully squash the head. This is quite an intricate or fiddly procedure, but go at it slowly and you'll be fine. Little by little, feed the head through. Fortunately it's quite squashy and soft. There we go. And then follow with the other arm, feeding it through, trying not to bend the wire if you can avoid it. Leave the monofilament out through the neck of the balloon like that, and then just try to rejig the arms if they became bent out of shape. Okay, once you're happy with that, then you can inflate the balloon again. Have a scrap of 260 handy to seal it. Inflate the balloon nice and large. Twist the neck a couple of times, but before you twist it too far, just pull up on the monofilament until your little character is hanging where you want him to hang. There we go. It's spread out quite nicely there. Round a few times to make sure you get a good seal, and then use your scrap of 260 to tie it off nice and firm. Go around several times to make sure that you've got a good strong seal there, and then this is going to last for a very long time, so it makes for a long-lasting gift or decoration. Okay, I'm going to remove any unwanted monofilament. Just set it slightly to one side for the moment, because now we need to mount it on a base. This is stretchy balloon tape, and I'm going to cut a couple of pieces about 2 inches 5 centimeters long, and then cut them in half lengthwise, and we're going to use those to form the attachment point on the bottom of the balloon, and we're going to put it in an H shape. So first of all, determine where the bottom of the balloon is. So if you hold it there and put your other finger on the bottom, and then another scrap of 260, lay it across and stick it down with the stretchy balloon tape really nice and firmly. Push it down really well so that we've got a piece of the tape crossing the 260, and then the other 2 pieces of tape will go across that at 90 degrees either side of the 260 to give it a good strong anchor. And then if you tie the 260, then it won't pull the stretchy tape as much. So you've got a really good strong anchor point there. Now we can prepare the base. So I have a cluster of 4 5-inch Sempertex balloons. These are all fashion tones, 2 lime green in this case, an orange and a black. And I've got a small weight. This can be a pebble, a little water weight, sand weight, marbles, anything you like. Just tuck that into the larger cluster there, and that will sit it nice and firmly. Then there's a smaller cluster. These are inflated to 5 inches. These are inflated to 4, and I'm going to sit this on the top of here. So just put it on the top, pull the neck of one of the lower balloons up through the centre, wrap it around a couple of times to anchor it in place, and that will sit nice and firmly. And then you can use your 260 that you've taped to the bottom of the balloon to pull all the way through. Okay, didn't stick that time, never mind. We'll just redo that with a little bit more stretchy tape to make sure. Usually it sticks perfectly well. Maybe that I touched the balloon a little bit, got it slightly greasy, don't know, but we'll just correct that. And perhaps this time, if it is a little greasy and not sticking so well, I'll use the full width of the tape. Normally I can be a little bit economical with it and just use a half width, but sometimes it doesn't go quite according to plan. Doesn't matter, we can always sort it out. So 2 more pieces of tape, stick those on. Either side to make the H pattern. Rub it down really well. And one more. Okay, then I'm just going to tie that like so. Oops. Come along, there we go. Yeah, that feels a little firmer this time. So let's just pull that down between the balloons to anchor it into place. So that it sits nice and flat and nice and firm on top of the cluster. Wrap it round a few times to fix it in place, and there we go. On the top of this, I'm going to use this foil, which is rather cute, little pumpkin with wings, and obviously we've got the right colours, the lime greens, the purples and the oranges and the blacks, so that it ties in with everything else. And there's another cluster of 4, inflated to 4 inches, and I'm just going to wrap the tail of the standard shape through and around several times so that the cluster is really firmly attached to the bottom of the balloon, and then use this piece of 260 at the top here to attach him to the top of the balloon, like so. A little bit more detail will come from 2 inflated 260s here, which I've inflated almost all the way, tied a little way back from the knot end and left a little bit on the other end to enable me to wrap it into the cluster at the base there, and the same on this side here. And then I'm going to take one of these up to just short of the top of the balloon, twist it off, and then tie it, and use this part here to pull it through so that it sits nice and tight into that cluster there, like that, round a couple of times, and then the same on the other side. Twist it off, tie it, and pull it through like so. There we go. And then, as a final finishing touch, I've discovered that these window clings, these window decorations that are designed to stick onto glass, stick onto the crystal clears really, really well. So I'm just going to use 2 or 3 of those to give a little bit more detail and texture onto the design. So we'll put one there and one there. I think that's probably sufficient for that. So you've got a very interesting but comparatively simple design, all air filled, no helium required, lasts for ages, and no cutting and resealing required. I did mention that the little hanging characters come in sets of 3, so we've got one here using the witch, and a couple more of the window clings there, the bat and the cat, and then the one with the ghost like this. And I've used the green crystal clears and the purple ones to get the variation in the colours. There you have it.